Hey there lovelies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maddie, where I love to talk all things makeup. In this video today, I'm going to be giving you a tutorial on how to do natural glowy makeup. And this is actually a natural glowy makeup routine that I used last summer when I was visiting for a week and a half in Illinois. And if you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. So the first thing when it comes to glowy makeup is making sure that your skin is prepped. Making sure you have good skincare, you have lots of good moisturizer on, that your lips have a good amount of moisture as well with chapstick. I'm not going to cover that portion of the video today. To start off, I always like to use a color corrector to cover the blue and purple circles that I have in my eyes. That really for me is a non-negotiable, whether I'm doing a natural look or I am doing a full glam look. And so what's really nice is that it can create kind of a natural look here if I didn't want to use concealer. And so I'm just going to come in, put that in the corner of my eye just to help cover that up. Because if I were to just go in and put concealer straight over that, it would create kind of a gray cast, and that is not very natural looking. We're just gonna go ahead and let that set a little bit. I don't wanna put my concealer on immediately, otherwise they're going to mesh, and it just doesn't make for a very good blend. Now, when it comes to glowy natural makeup, using cream products is going to be your best friend. So whether you are, maybe you have extra oily skin, then what I would suggest is go ahead and use powders, but just use powders that have some extra glow in them, that have some sparkle running through the bronzer and through the blush. That'll stay on your face and it will also create that natural look for you. But I'm going to be going in with my Huda Beauty Tantour bronzer here that is in fair, and I don't need very much of this because I am fair skinned, but this is kind of dark. So I'm just going to lightly tap my brush in there and get just a little bit of product on. And then I'm going to move my hairline to make sure that I'm blending this in really well here into my hairline and then bringing it down my face. And you can dip back into the product as much as you need. We want to make sure that everything is blended really well. We're not going to be using a foundation today. We're just going to be focusing on using a concealer to really spot conceal where we absolutely need it, but letting our natural skin really shine through here. And so that really just helps bring so much warmth into the face. And what's nice is that I do have some natural redness in my face. So I kind of already got, you know, that natural blush going on, but I'll still put on a little bit of blush just to make sure that everything is blending and looking cohesive here. So you really want to blend that super well. Okay, so now that we have our bronzer on, before I go in and do any kind of nose contour or anything like that, I'm going to come in with my concealer because my color corrector has set long enough. And I'm going to use my finger here and dip into my potted concealer. And I'm going to put this just where I need it, okay? So it's going to be here, here. I won't put any on my eyelid because I'm going to take what's around my eye and put that onto my eyelid. And then here, here on my other side of my eye. And then I'm going to put just a little bit on my nose and around my nose where I've got some redness. And I like to put a little on my chin there. And then maybe I'll bring some right here. And I've got just a little pimple going on. I've got all my concealer in the places. And what's nice is just because it's in one place doesn't mean that you can't bring it down and around your face. You see that? It blends so much further than you think it does. We want to really blend around those edges so that everything is very cohesive and we don't have any stark lines of where makeup ends and where it begins. So now I have my concealer all set in place, and I'm going to come in and just do a little bit of nose contour to help warm this up, and I'm going to bring it up into my eyebrow and all the way down my nose. The reason I bring it all the way up into my eyebrow is that it kind of elongates your nose, and it, again, making this very cohesive, natural look. I like to do a little bit on the end of my nose and on top, just for that kind of button effect. But make sure it's all blended. If you notice that maybe it's looking a little too stark, come in with your sponge that you use for your blending your concealer and just take a little bit of that away. And then I also like to bring it onto my eyelids. It's going to create that natural shadow for us. Yeah, and this is actually something I used on a vacation for a week and a half in Illinois. It's also a technique that I've used when I go to California. The last place that I want to put some bronzer is just right here, my jawline, and blend it down. And what's also nice about cream products is that they will fade, but they will fade very naturally and not spotty. Now we have our cream contour and bronzer all done, and so now we're going to come in with our cream blush. And I'm going to use, again, a cream blush, and I'm going to blend it on the back of my hand first, because blush can be so starkly different. I'm going to use that same brush that I use for my bronzer, because it'll just blend everything together super nicely. And I'm going to start here, just kind of at the corner of my eye. I don't want too much. And also another trick is I'm using kind of a more red blush, because like I said, I have natural redness in my cheeks. We have natural redness. When the sun burns us, it's red, right? And so red is actually the most natural blush color that you can wear. And no, it seems kind of intimidating, but it really changed my makeup game when I started wearing red blush. Because it's just so youthful looking, it's so natural looking. Because when we're cold or we're sunburned, you know, our cheeks, they turn red naturally. So next, I'm going to come in and I'm just going to brush up my eyebrows. I don't tend to do a whole lot with my eyebrows anyway. I'm just going to brush them up and then slightly comb them over to help open up and brighten up my eyes a little bit more. And then one thing that we're going to do is we're going to put some highlight on. Now I know this is supposed to be natural glowy makeup, right? We got to glow. And part of that glow is on our eyelids. So I put it on my eyelid, and I'm using a gold highlighter on purpose to kind of match that natural summery look. And I'm going to put it in the corner of my eyes to help brighten everything up. Now if you wanted to, this is also a good time. You could just tap into that bronzer and bring a little bit under the eye to bring a little more definition to your eye. Now we're going to go ahead and put on some mascara. When it comes to a natural glowy look, you can use a lip liner if you want to add just a little bit of definition. I would be very soft with it. But actually, I like to come in with just a red lipstick and just be light-handed and blend it in with my finger and my chapstick, using the slip from my chapstick and also not defining my lips all that much. It brings it all together. It's just this perfect cohesive look. that really brings enough definition to your face, but it's not over enhancing anything and it's not under enhancing anything. It's really just bringing it all back to life, letting that natural beauty shine through. There you have it, natural glowy makeup. I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so I can create more awesome content for you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!